everyone, welcome to this segment of my talk show. I remain your host, Benny Souza, and our topic today is comparing celibacy and premarital sex, the pros and the cons. Now, you would agree with me that sex is no longer, in the olden times, sex is something that they whisper in the room. But these days, sex is now really overrated and is becoming something that people have very cheaply, very casually. It's no longer as sacred as this topic. A lot of people say, no, I don't do things like that. But in the bathroom, they are using the pregnancy test kits. How hypocritical. Today, the topic is celibacy versus premarital sex, the pros and the cons. Now, let's think about it from this angle. What is celibacy? Celibacy is just agreeing not to have sex. For some people, they've had sex before, but they are now saying that no, I've been there and I've done that. It didn't make him stay, it didn't make her stay, so you can as well. Sex does not mean the person is going to stay either ways. Now, celibacy is saying, oh, I've had sex before, I'm not going to have sex again, or I've never had sex before and I want to wait till I'm married or wait till I meet the right person, as the case may be. While premarital sex is torchlighting the website before the main day. Now, let's talk about celibacy. Celibacy has its advantages. And one of the advantages of celibacy is saying that I don't have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases. You don't have to worry about transmission of HIV/AIDS if you are not using sharp objects, if you did not have transfusion of on-screen blood recently or at any point in time, and if you've not had a needle prick that was used by an infected person. So you don't have to worry about all those things if you are celibate. Another thing that you don't need to worry about if you're a celibate person is that, oh, maybe this person is esteem issues. I don't know about people, but a lot of women, for instance, when they've had sex with a guy, except that's what they do for a living, I mean the prostitute, they start to feel used. Most women actually feel that way. But if you have celibate, you can easily just walk away with your head and shoulders. Like it's not only a Nigerian thing, it's really an African thing, where people will say they met a guy, they're already getting on, they met a girl, they're getting along very well, and they take the names to the pastor to pray. Let me bust your bubble. If you're already having sex, the tendency of them telling you that the guy is good and the girl is good is like 98%. The reason being that spiritually, there's already a tie. For a lot of people, they do not know that sex is beyond a physical thing. It's beyond physical. That's why you see a couple that have been married 10, 20, 30 years, they start to look alike. Sex is not as physical as people think. It's a spiritual thing. There's a connection. There's connection of in fact, there's connection of a lot of things when you have sex. That's why you see people that you've had sex with for like 9 years, 10 years ago. When you see them, there's still this tie. So sex is not as physical as you think. So if you want to go and check if a guy is good or the girl is good to your pastor and not babalawo, you have to ensure that you've not had sex. That's when you can confirm that whatever they tell you, it is true. If you doubt this, you can talk to your pastor. Another reason why some people choose the celibacy route, apart from religious reasons, is that sex can mask problems. What do I mean by that? If you're constantly having sex with someone and the sex is very good, I mean very, very good, there's something called the oxytocin. It is released by women during sex. What that means is that the oxytocin makes them feel in some form of bond, in some form of way with the guy. Now, that's why you see some girls, they'll say the guy is beating them. The guy is doing this. The guy is not good. The girl is not good. And they're still in that relationship because the sex is some form of bond for them. Is the oxytocin released during sex that the woman is thinking about. She's making her feel that she's in love with the guy. Wow, what she has is called a soul tie. Now, another reason why people go the celibacy route, apart from is religion. They'll tell you that they'll say like we should make the bed undefiled before marriage. So when from people looking at the celibacy route, they are doing it for reasons of religion. They want to wait till they are married. So celibacy has its cons. I've told you about the cons of celibacy. One of it is that you don't have to worry about sexually transmitted diseases. You don't have to worry about unwanted pregnancies. You don't have to worry about having a low self-esteem if you are like that. when you have sex with a guy, you feel some form of way when he walks away. You don't have to worry about things like that. Then the disadvantage is that a lot of people talk about celibacy is that they say you don't really know the guy or the girl sexually before you marry. For instance, some people's libido level is 500. Those girls or guys, anytime, any day, wake them up, they are ready to go. While some people's libido is almost microscopic. So the disadvantages they say is that you might not know that before marriage, and you will not know that you are not sexually compatible. Which I think that some things can be learned over time. I don't know if I'm talking gibberish, but really, I think those things can be learned over time, because nobody was ever born a pro. You have to practice. Usually, I believe that in marriage, practice can actually make perfect. Now, let's talk about the premarital sex angle. The premarital sex is saying that you are not yet married, but you are already having sex. One of the pros they say about premarital sex is that that you already know your sex compatibility before marriage. Okay, you already know the sexual compatibility, but the truth be told, by 2018, everybody should know the fact. And the fact is that sex does not keep anyone. Good sex, either from a girl or a guy that is not willing to stay, a girl that is not willing to stay, is not good sex that will keep them. It can keep them for a while, and they will have somebody they want to marry. Yours will just be for sexual gratification. But good sex or bad sex or whatever does not keep anybody who wants to stay. So let's debunk the idea that knowing compatibility before marriage will mean that you can marry yourself. Now, another disadvantage they say about premarital sex is soul ties. Soul ties means that you think you're in love, but what you are having is soul ties. Like your souls are connected to each other. So you think that, oh my God, it's sexy. Oh, I love this guy. You might just love the sex, not the guy. That's why a lot of people, they realize that when they stop having sex, maybe people they've been having sex before, maybe along the line they gave their lives to Christ, they become better Christians, or they became better Muslims. They realize something, that the minute they stop having sex, all the problems like lack of communication, incompatibility issues, they started noticing things like disalignment of purpose. They started noticing that they do not have alignment of value system and everything. So when they are having sex, a lot of those things might not be visible to them because they are concentrating on the orgasm and the likes of them. I would like to say this: anything that is getting too likely might not be esteemed. That is, some people will not value something that they got very cheaply. Whether you decide the celibacy route or the premarital sex route, there's something that is sure. If you choose the premarital sex route, be sure that that will not keep the guy. Neither will the celibacy keep the guy or the girl that wants to leave. But whatever decision that you make, I'm not going to tell you this is better or that is better, because everybody is old enough to make their decisions. In my own opinion, from my own experience, or from the things I hear from people, let me not say my experience, from things I hear, 9, or let me say 8 out of 9, or 8 out of 10, or 9 out of 10 intending couples are already having sex. So either you choose the celibacy aspect is becoming very microscopic aspect of the populace. It's not as popular as it used to be, but doesn't make it bad. If you choose to be celibate, is good. Just ensure that you discuss with your spouse or your boyfriend or your girlfriend ahead of time. It's not like you would have been having sex, then along the line you say, no, we're not having sex again. You have to state that categorically at the beginning of the relationship. If the person, he or she, has a problem with it, they should just hit the highway. You should say it from the beginning. And if you choose the premarital sex route, you just know that it doesn't keep anybody that wants to stay, that wants to leave rather. So if you are having sex already, you should just know that you protect yourself, because there's a lot of deadly STDs that are outside at the moment. You should protect yourself, and also ensure that you do not assume that your spouse, your boyfriend or your girlfriend is not cheating. So I'll speak to you again next time. I remain your host, your friend, your boy, your girlfriend, your paddy of life, Benny Souza. You can add me on Instagram at Let's Talk with Benny Souza. You can send me an email in case you have intriguing stories you want to share at Let's Talk with Benny Souza at gmail.com. You can also call the number as displayed on the screen. You can also follow my page on Facebook at Let's Talk with Benny Souza. Au revoir. Have an amazing week ahead. Thank you.